Hello, my name's Penny Chalton. I'm here today from Deloitte, and we are here to talk about the work that Deloitte have been doing in setting up a benefits management approach at the Metropolitan Police Service. So the presentation will cover the work we're doing there, the outcomes we've achieved, and our approach to benefits realisation management. My name's Penny Chalton and I'm a senior manager in Deloitte, and I've been working on benefits management for about the last 10 years. So I've been out helping organisations as far-reaching as the Ministry of Defence, the Hydrographic Office, the Post Office, the National Health Service, and of course local government. This is my colleague.
Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Coleman. I am a consultant in Deloitte's program leadership practice, and I've been working in portfolio, program, and benefits management for the last 3 years, and specifically working with the Metropolitan Police Service over the last year to help them develop their benefits management capability, and that will be the theme of our case study today.
Okay, so basically we're just going to do a high-level overview of the Deloitte approach, which isn't anything extraordinary. It very much follows the managing successful programs approach. And then we're going to talk about our work with the Metropolitan Police Service, and we've brought one of our clients along with us who's very happy to talk you through this. So to start off with, our killer slide, which basically provides our Deloitte approach on a page, and I'm guessing that those of you at the back won't be able to see this very well, but our approach is essentially structured around 5 key steps. They are, of course, identification and mapping, profiling benefits, including establishing the baseline, thinking about the targets, and collecting the data. Then, of course, there's all of the planning activities, assigning roles and responsibilities, getting a bit of buy-in from the organisation. Very much followed by monitoring and tracking, relying on your benefit owners to give you the regular weekly or monthly data as to how things are progressing, so that ultimately you can realise those benefits and embed the change that you've planned. As I've said, this is a particularly straightforward mechanism. It's out there in MSP, and we bring it with it an understanding of the challenges, such as the need for robust data and establishing baselines. I did a piece of work with the Defence Infrastructure Organisation, which was after a big change programme across the whole of Defence. And just getting an understanding of what the staffing level was took a matter of a couple of months to count up all of the people in the organisation. So it's not as easy as you would assume. So we do understand some of the challenges. We have end-to-end experience, so we've been in with organisations right from the start, from helping them establish their business case. So with our government clients, that is using the 5-case business model. With our private sector clients, it's embedding business change management and benefits into their business cases. We also have a set of tools and templates that we use. They're adapted for each individual client, but they're very much based on those tools and templates that you're all probably very familiar with. And in summary, there are 3 sort of key areas of success. Firstly, having accurate management information. That is critical. I've been in so many instances where people long into a programme are arguing about whether they've achieved the benefits because they haven't been able to establish the baseline and get that set in concrete right at the beginning of the programme. Then it's the whole area of culture, embedding a means of measuring and monitoring benefits throughout the organisation. And finally, it's the robust governance, ensuring there's accountability so that senior responsible owners are held accountable for the delivery of their benefits. So that, in summary, is our benefits approach. Happy to talk through that in more detail if you come and talk to us on our stand. So our case study today is the Metropolitan Police Service. And just to give you a little bit of context here, they take 25% of the police budget for England and Wales. So they are the biggest police force. There are 43,000 officers and staff. They are covering 640 square miles of London with our 8 million residents. And the Metropolitan Police Service are introducing a transformation portfolio, actually. They had a number of drivers for change. Firstly, they had a vision of wanting to make London the safest global city, which is, especially in today's age, is a tougher and tougher job every day. There's a changing nature of crime and growing demand for policing. Obviously, our population is changing, our demographics are changing. We continue to grow and expand. There are changing demands from customers, or you and I, as that may be. People are expecting digital access. They're expecting communication much more immediately. The police have a bit of an ageing IT infrastructure, not dissimilar to a lot of organisations, and so that is a big challenge for them. And of course, they want to adopt more efficient ways of working. Now, the board of the Metropolitan Police did agree that they were very immature in their approach to benefits management, and hence they wanted to start a relationship with Deloitte. And so my colleague Thomas is going to take you through a little bit more detail of the work we've been doing there.
Thank you, Penny. So as Penny mentioned, the MPS vision is to make London the safest global city. So in order to achieve this, they've invested in a massive transformation portfolio of 12 programs, known collectively as the One Met model. This transformation portfolio is generally aimed at modernizing the police force, improving the workforce, improving the offering for the workforce, and being fit for the future to tackle the changing drivers of crime, as Penny mentioned. So a few examples of the work that we're doing with the Met Police is to make increasing use of digital services, so things like online crime reporting, public contact with the police through social media, investing in new IT solutions, both software to better manage information data, to be more intelligence-led as they deliver their services, but also to kit out their frontline officers with better hardware, such as body-worn video cameras, tablets, and allow their officers to be more mobile. There is, with this mobility program, this will also enable them to rationalize their state and reinvest the savings from that to help deliver more change. So, as Penny mentioned as well, they recognize their low level of maturity in delivering change. So I would say not only in managing benefits, but delivering change in the whole. And hence they've made a decision to invest in a permanent transformation function called the Transformation Director in the MPS. So Deloitte has partnered with the MPS to help establish this function. There are 4 areas of it. So there's a business design function, a business change management function, program delivery, and the portfolio office. And I myself, along with 2 of my colleagues who are in the room with me today, work in the portfolio office benefits team and also in portfolio prioritization and analysis. In addition to that, we've been supporting the programs in all these different areas and providing best practice program, project, design, and change management expertise. And actually, I see a few other individuals in the room today who've been working at the Met Police and some of the programs or have worked there, so I'm sure they will provide some good challenge to us at the end, or hopefully not. So what was the challenge that we faced a year ago when we started our engagement with the Met Police? Well, specifically from a benefits management perspective, you could say that the challenges were probably the usual suspects of an organization that has low maturity in delivering change and managing benefits. So to begin with, there was not a single framework for managing benefits across the transformation portfolio. At that, there was a low understanding of what benefits are, let alone the need to manage them in the organization. And this translated into how business cases were developed and how business cases were approved. In many cases, business cases were approved with very loosely defined benefits. There was a focus on financial cash releasing benefits at the expense of non-financial benefits that are focused at making the police service more effective. There was very limited testing of assumptions that were used in the calculations in these benefits, and a lot of times benefits were not baselined or profiled. This, I guess you could say, obviously meant that there was very limited roles and responsibilities that had been defined across the organization to track and manage and realize these benefits as the programs begin to deliver solutions to the business. Couple all of that with the fact that there was an immediate requirement to help the programs establish their benefits. I think there was a fairly big task in order. So how did we approach this? So we essentially took on 3 parallel strands of work, which we're still working on today. We first began by building the portfolio office benefits function. This meant establishing a portfolio benefits management framework based on our best practice example that Penny showed us at the beginning. We felt that there was a massive need to upskill not only the portfolio teams, but essentially a lot of areas of the organization and achieve essentially their buy-in into benefits management in order for this to work. So a ton of the activity that we've been doing in our central benefits team has been engagement with different areas of the organization. So this is not just the program teams and the officers that have been involved in the design and the delivery of the change, but also individuals from finance, from human resources, from the Met's performance management team, from commercial, to bring them in to our portfolio and really have them involved in all the different steps of identifying, mapping, profiling, planning how benefits are realized in practice. So we held various lunch and learn sessions, just inviting people to come, meet with us, and we'd talk them through the approach over lunch to more formal workshops. And this really led into building the governance of benefits management across the organization. So what are the accountabilities? What is the role of the senior responsible officer in delivering benefits? Who are the individuals in the business, the operational leads, who are senior officers who need to take probably the most important role in receiving the solutions and making sure that they are aware of the benefits that have been delivered and helping the business to achieve those. So that's where we've spent a lot of effort getting operational leaders and, like I said, enabling functions such as finance, human resources, the performance management teams to be involved from the outset. And now we're at a point that the benefits work is able to support portfolio analysis. So we're using all the information that we've gathered from our benefits exercises to support a prioritization exercise, as well as support program assurance that is ongoing with all of the programs in the portfolio. So the second step is to support the programs, and you could argue that this step was equally as important as the first one we first began, because a portfolio office is in some ways only as good as the information that is getting from the programs. So we didn't have any information from the programs relating to benefits, so there was a big effort to hold benefit mapping workshops with all 12 of the program teams and not only take them through the approach to managing benefits, but get them to identify an initial set of benefits that we can then build upon as a platform to profile and plan them. So that's where we are at now, is helping the programs to profile and plan how they're going to realize their benefits. And I'll admit it is no easy task whatsoever. As Penny said, just getting baselines can take months. But I think we're definitely seeing a shift in that regard, because the business is really starting to understand the need to do it and starting to ask the right questions, which I think we feel is quite gratifying. On that note, we're providing ongoing assurance or ongoing challenge essentially to the program teams as they develop their business cases. And now that they have their benefits maps and they're working on their benefit profiles, this is allowing their business cases to be much more robust from the outset. And then finally is capability building. So this is with our immediate MPS colleagues who are working in the portfolio office, the program teams, and just broader in the organization is again through the lunch and learn sessions, but also day-to-day coaching in benefits management, helping them to adopt best practice, and then finally recruiting to new positions in the transformation directorate. So what makes this job fun? I would say that for me, the most interesting thing from this engagement has been working with senior officers in the Metropolitan Police who are responsible for delivering these programs and designing the changes that they will deliver to the business, and helping them to define their outcomes and identify the measures that they can use to demonstrate their benefits is absolutely fascinating working with them. And bringing in the different subject matter experts across the business, particularly the performance management team in the Met Police, who is a team of researchers and analysts who actually sit on a massive pot of data related to Metropolitan policing performance, which is there's business as usual performance on certain metrics such as burglaries or knife crime and how that fluctuates on a month-to-month basis, on a borough-to-borough basis, as well as how the Metropolitan Police meets its targets in responding to certain calls in a certain time frame. So learning about those different metrics and helping them to understand what it is that they should be looking to measure in their benefits and what they're measuring now, and bringing them all into the room and kind of hashing that out in detail with them is really, I would say, really fun. So as an example, with the body-worn video project, we've been working with Third Team to help them define some of the benefits of implementing body-worn video cameras across the frontline officers in the Metropolitan Police. So some of the benefits that we've identified is an increase in early guilty pleas. So the idea here is that by having more robust evidence captured on camera, they can move forward to early guilty pleas instead of having what they used to have, which was an officer saying one thing and a suspect or an individual saying another thing. This expedites that process a lot more and allows both investigators and prosecutors to spend more time on more serious crime. Additionally, looking at decreasing the number of complaints in the long run against the Metropolitan Police, so having body-worn video cameras, it should increase transparency of the police force, and tracking that and seeing whether that is moving in the right direction over time. Other programs such as so we're doing a lot of operating model design work with the local policing service areas and specialist investigations. And a lot of those programs will look at realigning resources towards the biggest priority areas and understanding their demand better. So some intermediate benefits that we've been helping them to identify are how they use their officers, and there's actually quite a lot of information that they can track about what their officers are doing and what they're working on. And then I guess you said that's an intermediate benefit, and an end benefit is how that translates into criminal justice outcomes. So from a specialist investigation perspective, if they have their officers working on the most priority crimes, we should be seeing an increase in disruption of targeted criminal networks and activities, and increase in detections. So helping them to kind of think in that structured way about what are the things that we can measure now and what we see them being correlated with in the future, and tracking those and really driving that as they implement their solutions. And of course, it's also fun being able to check out the body-worn video cameras and see how they work in practice. So outcomes, what have we achieved in the last year? Sometimes we ask ourselves this. But I would say there has been a big increase in maturity across the portfolio, at least from an understanding of benefits management and an understanding of the need to do it. The portfolio benefits management framework that we've helped to implement is now widely recognized in the portfolio, and it's becoming more and more recognized around the business. There are defined benefits for all programs, and we have a portfolio-wide perspective now on those benefits, so that enables us in the portfolio office to help senior leaders identify potential areas of double counting or unclear allocation of benefits across programs and intervene accordingly. We've helped programs to essentially define their narrative as they go through the business case process. So there's a few programs in the portfolio that are considered enabling programs. In that alone, they will not be delivering any concrete benefit, but they're absolutely necessary for other programs to deliver their benefits. So helping them to develop their business cases and sell that. And then I think probably the biggest thing is the portfolio governance forums are really now interrogating their benefits. They are, we've actually seen some instances where business cases are not being approved now, and forecasts are being revised, which on the one hand, I guess if you go to Tony's point earlier about melting and moving, there has been a lot of melting and moving, but I think that's a good thing because they are starting to see that they can't be accepting these benefits forecast in these business cases, and they're reducing the risk of under-delivery of those forecasts. So that has been, I'd say, huge for us. And throughout all this, I would say, probably from my colleagues' perspective and mine, it's been very difficult at times, and I think the key has been persistence in a way. That's not really picked up in our previous slide on the approach, but being persistent and continually trying to drive that agenda, and just whether that's through coaching or in the meetings or highlighting the issues that are coming up, being persistent, it can be tough at times and sometimes frustrating, but on the other hand, when you see senior officers now coming to us and saying, we need to do our benefit profiles, how can you help us do them? That's incredibly gratifying, and that's what we'd like to see most, I'd say.